Qiuyuan may get wet under a waterfall, just like all of you people's pants were when you were watching this man change in an instant under that very same waterfall. But we gotta keep our cups from overflowing as Qiuyuan is about to come for your wallets, and your enemies. But the real question is, how good is his weapon? Emerald Sentence, a green-hued weapon meant to be sharper than his tongue, is an exceptional weapon and a perfect fit for Qiuyuan. Naturally, of course, because it's his signature, but is it a must-pull for a character like Qiuyuan? My name is VoidEnigma, and I'll be delving into the topic of weapons for Qiuyuan, and this is going to be a short one as I'd rather not waste your time so you can continue to stare at Qiuyuan's moist, wet chest, so let's just break it down quickly. His signature weapon grants him 24% crit rate, along with 12% attack and a pretty neat passive. When he casts an Echo skill, he's capable of casting 4 Echo skills per rotation by the way, he gets a stack, which grants 30% heavy attack damage up to 60% with 2 stacks. Additionally, casting an intro skill will grant the entire team a 20% Echo skill damage up for 30 seconds, which is a pretty nice bonus. So we get 12% attack, 60% heavy attack damage bonus, and 20% Echo skill damage for the team. Solid signature, solid stuff. Now before we continue, we gotta discuss one very important part of his kit, and that is his liberation. When Qiuyuan casts his liberation, he grants the entire team a further Echo damage bonus. So long story short, he needs 70% crit rate. With his weapon, he could easily get roughly 69% crit rate, nice, even if you get the lowest rolls on each and every one of your Echoes, so you definitely want to go for a weapon like this. But there's an easily obtainable secondary option. In fact, probably the best option to actually go with. When it comes to a support weapon, always bet on Emerald Genesis, and Emerald Genesis is just a perfect weapon for a supporting character like Qiuyuan. You lose 60% heavy attack damage bonus and 20% team-wide Echo damage bonus, but honestly, that's not a bad trade-off, especially when you're getting 12% energy regen to compensate for it, which can be much more useful if you're struggling to reach that 125% energy regen goal. The weapon is so solid, in fact, that I don't really recommend any other weapon, other than, of course, his signature. It's an impeccable choice and is very well suited for Qiuyuan. Being a standard weapon, you can 100% get this weapon very easily. Just, of course, use your standard wishes to get the weapon, or use the free weapon box that you all get when you actually start playing the game. While the signature is much better in literally every scenario, of course, but if you really just think about it this way, he's a support, meant to buff someone like Galbrenna. He already grants 30% Echo skill damage buff from his actual kit, so another 20% is not really doing too much. Honestly, this weapon is just an easy skip for 90% of players, and you really shouldn't prioritize it, despite it being one of the coolest looking weapons in the game and also the only thing in the game resembling a katana. Despite all that though, when is this weapon truly worth it? When you're playing Qiuyuan in a mono arrow team with that of Yuno, Chakona, and Arrow Rover. If you want Qiuyuan as a main carry, then you will want to actually grab this weapon, as this lets him reach insane power. He'll still be much better suited as a support, but it can be fun to annihilate enemies with a heavy attack set on Qiuyuan. I know a ton of players will definitely be wanting to play him this way, and there is a ton of players who will say no to the meta and get this weapon for the next husbando with dripping wet abs and chest. I mean, this guy's bosom flares with that flow energy. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, it is a very easy skip. But if you're pushing for more damage, then definitely go for it. It is guaranteed after all. How many of you are going for this weapon either way? I would love to know how many just want to beef up Qiuyuan's power to the ceiling, so leave a comment if you're one of those people, and thank you so much for watching. Like if you found the video enjoyable, and subscribe to keep the channel going. Appreciate you all so much. Enigma out.